good. How are you doing?
Okay.
I was looking at that clock, and that clock's wrong.
Oh,
But
I
it
have
now
30
has the
seconds.
correct hour.
It does have the correct hour. You have, I have almost 7.
And
I have
the
to
We need to
lady
go
who
by.
was doing my nails, it was up at Rocky Hill. But lady was
That clock up there, I believe, is a little bit slow.
for
She'll probably get it. We'll have to get this on TV here.
very broken
Okay.
English. I'm like, how do you live to your own speak?
See, we'll
I don't
bring
know.
the screen down,
see,
but yeah, it should be
now we
fine.
have an extra one. Good.
Go ahead.
It's fine to
Yeah.
get started. Okay.
It is.
All right. Well, it's
Yeah.
7 p.m.
I mean,
So
I was worried.
we'll call to order the June meeting of the Visual Resources Review Board. The first item on our agenda is the approval of minutes for the April 22nd meeting. We did not have a meeting in May. Is there any conversation about the minutes that are in your packet from April? All right. Do we have a motion for approval?
Motion for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Next is the wall signs. Looks like there were, over the last couple of months, looks like we had a few wall signs approved. Does anyone have any questions about wall signs or anything we need to be aware of, Mark?
No, I don't think so, unless you have a question on anything.
Any
A
questions?
couple of them
on-
are for ones that we have ground-mounted signs for, you know,
Right.
big Kahuna Wings and At Home.
They just basically match
Yeah.
what's on the ground mounted signs.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll move along to the ground mounted sign applications. The first one on our agenda is Movement Mortgage.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put this down. This one is pretty straightforward, as you can see. When that sign was originally constructed several years ago, it had a little space in the bottom that was designed for a second tenant at some point, and so that's what Movement Mortgage is filling as part of this request. It's actually was approved as a multi-tenant sign,
Mm-hmm.
so it appears that the panel that they're proposing is consistent visually with the existing panel that's out there, and it's hard to show that, I think, exactly on the drawing, but my understanding is it's the same color and material, so it should be,
Okay.
you know, visually
So even though it
consistent.
doesn't look it here, the colors are the same.
They are
as
the same
gables and
color?
Gates.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they're
See, it
the
didn't
same
look like-
color. Now it could be that the gables and gates, just because it's been there for a while, is going to be
It's
more
faded.
faded.
Right.
So it probably will look more glossy and brighter than the gables and gates panel. But other than that, the staff recommends approval of that panel.
Well, it looks to me very legible in block capital letters, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? Do we have a motion on Movement Mortgage?
Okay, I move that we approve the Movement Mortgage panel.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so the egg and I,
Yep.
Have egg on their face.
That was the sign. This is actually what's been installed in the field. As I mentioned in the packet, the panel was added
Yeah.
without obtaining a permit,
That one hasn't been approved either.
and neither has the Glamour Nails panel. They'll have to come before us next time. But the concern I have with this panel is the yellow background, seeming to me to be incompatible and inconsistent with the rest of the sign. I would suggest that the background be the same beige as what's behind Glamour Nails and the other vacant panels just to be consistent. The reason they, of course, have the yellow is that's basically what their wall sign background is, and I guess it's their company color, you know. But of course, had they applied for the permit before they did that, I would have mentioned to them that we would encourage them to have a beige background. So here we are, kind of having to deal with something that, you know, in my opinion, needs to be modified.
Sir, would you be here for Egg and I, or are you here for one of the others? One of the others. Okay. Just wanted to check. Well, the Egg and I is legible.
Yeah,
Seems to be
It is
large enough to
legible.
read as you go
Yes.
down Level Road.
yeah.
You think because that we approved their other sign is the reason that they thought that it could be that,
I
you
don't-
know, that they didn't realize? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
Yeah,
It
I don't
could
know. It could be. It was an
a lot of
out-of-town-
people make that mistake, thinking
Yeah.
that they're, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, it's
it-
true.
there may be something that we need to suggest at the very beginning, that, you know, just because we're proving this, that
Yeah.
the mounted sign is a little different.
Yeah, and I'm sure that I mentioned that to the contractor. It's these, sometimes you get they don't, on a big company like that, they don't know who all's involved and who's doing what sometimes. This was installed by a non-local
Oh,
installer. Had it been Fritz back there, he would have
Then he would have
asked
known.
me. Because he knows. Which I wish he had installed that panel. 'Cause he
Yeah.
would have known better, but so that's what happens. It's just one of those things. It does seem to happen a lot, though. I agree with you, and it's been a problem for years. Usually it's not an issue. Even the Glamour Nails, you know, it's got a good background, but I think it really needs to have some border around
It
the
does,
lettering
because
to
it's
make
very
it
hard to
stand out.
see it.
Yeah.
And you really,
Mhm.
there's no, you know, it's very
Yeah,
difficult
it's hard
see.
to pick that out because that light blue is real
Mhm.
hard to see with the beige background. It needs to be maybe some black border around the lettering would help bring that lettering out to where it could be more legible. I mean, the question really is whether you're going to be okay with colored backgrounds in the sign. I mean, you could have somebody else come in with red or green or whatever, you know, and they could always say, well, Egg and I's got a yellow background.
See, we've always done that, like on Turkey Creek, to where we made sure,
Yeah,
you
the
know, and so,
signage has always been flexible, but the background's
Right.
been consistent. Yeah.
and we've made others change in the past.
All right. Well, is there more discussion on that? I think it's legible to read, but the color background is
Mhm.
the main issue, considering the rest of the panel. So, do we have a recommendation, a motion? Anybody wants to make?
don't- Have you talked with them about, well,
just,
changing the background, they would literally have to make a new sign, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But usually when you do a sign like that, you put black panels because you don't know who's coming in there. And that's why you put all the black panels. So right
Yeah.
now, you know, I do check with Mark anytime I have
Yeah.
to do one just in case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's really a question whether you're okay with that sign as a whole having the potential for colored background. And if you are, that's fine. But, you know, it's something that,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the alternatives would be to force all of the signs to have a background, all the panels have a background like the blank panels, is that correct?
That's one option. Mm-hmm.
And then they probably have to make the letters a little darker to stand out.
Probably, yeah. Or you could
The
have,
other alternative could be like the panel, but then if they wanted to put the, you know, like the panel, you know, being the cream, but then have like the egg and eye to where that it's sort of the background of the yellow, could they do that? Does that make sense? To where that,
yeah,
there's a little bit of the yellow
if that really
for
would
it to
help,
be
I think.
there. I think
Oh.
there's, you see what I'm saying? To where that they still have the panel being the cream, but then they could have, because their main thing is the egg and eye needs to be the yellow. And, or
Well, it's
even the
actually
egg
red.
part, huh?
The egg and eye is actually kind of a reddish
Red,
color.
yeah.
But I mean, the background of that somehow to where that they could add the yellow
Are
to
you,
it.
you proposing like a split background?
Yeah, thank you.
That might be, I mean, I'm sure that's doable. I don't know cost-wise if
Yeah.
that's more or less than
It's probably, they would,
solid.
you know, at least it's an alternative to where, because it is their corporate thing, then they could still, you know,
I don't know, that may not look good either.
it wouldn't,
Right.
you don't think so?
I don't know. No, then
You
it
have to
might
kind of-
look like breakfast and lunch is a
Yeah.
separate entity.
Do you
Well,
know
that-
where yellow is on their wall sign? I mean, on their wall-mounted sign? Because it has yellow in it, but I can't recall what it looks like.
I don't remember, to be honest.
It's-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the one in Bearden,
yeah.
I apologize, I don't know if I.
Oh, no, we want to hear you.
Yeah, the one in Bearden has the yellow face on the building and on the monument. I can't recall this one right here on the lower road.
It does have a, if you
It's
look,
definitely got yellow, but I can't.
if you look at the
See if
building
you can pull up-
and the sign here, they look the same. So,
Okay.
There is some yellow on the wall sign, I just don't remember
I can't remember
where it was at.
Well, given that consideration, then we've already approved a wall sign that
Mhm.
has yellow. Has the wall sign, was Glamour Nails already approved? Wall sign?
Yeah,
Mm.
the wall sign has been approved,
And it's been approved without yellow.
yeah.
So the building already has inconsistency in the background colors. I know we have some buildings where that's been a consistent background color and
Yeah.
a consistent lettering.
where.
Mhm.
So we've kind of already done that then. I
Yeah, the
guess.
color, there's not a color thing that the owner wanted as far as a color restriction like some of the ones on Parkside, but as long as the signs are stylistically
Yeah.
similar, like on a
See, it's
raceway,
not- it's
which the
not
wall
consistent
signs
in the
are,
background, is it?
Mm-hmm.
then it, you know, similar to Stonecrest Shopping Center or others like that.
Well, that's not the one there.
okay, it
So
was the
see,
breakfast and
It was the
lunch.
breakfast and lunch, it was yellow, and then the
Breakfast
egg and
and
I
lunch, that was-
could be the cream. That's what I was, I knew
Okay.
that,
The egg and I?
This is the one here, and
is that,
No,
no,
that's
that's
not the
weird.
one, but I don't.
that's
I don't think
still-
it's,
that's not the one.
here, let me see.
They have a picture of
Just trying to see if I can find.
There was some place,
I don't know that
That's
they
what I
would
was asking.
mind. As long as the egg and I are, you know, it's red, I don't know that,
Well, I guess where I was heading with that, if we've already created a pattern on the building of having a yellow
See, that's what I
background
was
for
asking.
one and a white background for the other, we've already started that pattern.
we approved that a
Mhm.
couple of months ago.
Well, they don't really
That-
have a background yet.
Right, they don't have.
They don't have a
They're
background?
Just the lettering.
That lettering,
Okay.
the egg, yeah.
So the style sign they have doesn't have, it's not a box
Mm-mm.
No.
wall sign, it's just
No.
the
That was that
lettering.
what you, did you see hers?
Okay.
Sort of?
Yeah, it's not a box.
No,
sign.
they're compatible, the signs on the building are compatible as far as the style of signs. They're not compatible color-wise,
Oh, okay.
but they are compatible
yeah.
signage, or
Have you got that
the
one?
style of the sign.
Yeah, and there's not a picture.
But they're just a lettering that's on the,
Yeah.
on the wall. Okay. In their own colors.
Is this their corporate colors?
I think so,
The egg and I is it's the red, and then they have the little bit of the yellow, but, the main thing is the egg and I, it's red. I think that's the logo on. So I don't know if
See
they.
if I could find a, should have a picture of it. Somewhere we got.
So you're
every
right,
other
with that
sign.
panel, it would be that we either have to go with yellow
Here.
or with the white, or the cream. and
What's it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that the only option is to either leave it as it is or
Mhm.
have just the white, cream, whatever background for all of them to make them consistent.
And the cream matches this up here at the top too, all of this, right? The lettering of level place and everything. So the
Yeah.
background's gonna be that cream color, so that's what you're, okay.
Yeah, the level place lettering is similar to the background color.
I mean, I like the sign, I do think that it's a little loud. It kinda,
Yeah, it's a little bit.
it gets your attention.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I hate for them to have to replace it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
if it had been here first, then we would have had an opportunity to go through this ahead of time.
We've had to do this 2 or 3 times
Right.
with others. And, as they said, if it works that's great, but there's times we've had to make others change it
Mhm.
because I hate to have them to do it too, but I agree, because you don't know what's coming in next.
Right.
Well, if they wanted to present a revision or something, they could always come back to you all next time and
Yeah.
talk about it.
Or either just send us, if they have an idea of whatever, to send us,
Mhm.
ahead of time if, they get it earlier.
Well, I think other than the background, the sign's legible.
Yes,
Yeah.
As
very
you
much
drive
so.
down
Even the
Lovell
breakfast
Road,
and
so-
lunch.
Yeah, you can see it very well,
Yeah.
but the background is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think to be consistent with what we've done in the past, probably the right thing here is to recommend that background be changed.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
You making that motion?
Are we finished discussing? All right, I'll make that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so the next two, I think we've already discussed, right, via email in absence of the last
They have
meeting.
theirs.
The next one's Big Kahuna Wings,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe we concurred that the white background option
Mhm.
was our preference,
Yeah.
even though it's not all showing up here on
No,
this
I don't know what's
sign.
that.
It's up.
That happens with sometimes when you scan something. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes the lettering or address numbers disappear.
So we just need to formally approve this now?
Yeah.
then, what we've already done? Okay. Let's formally approve what we've already done via email. Do we have a motion to approve this?
Motion to approve?
And a second?
So,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The next one of these, at home, also one that we looked at over the last month when we didn't have our meeting.
I think I didn't get
And I believe that on this one, did everyone agree with this one? I'm having trouble recalling on it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Everyone agree with
This
this
is a
one?
new sign at, at the former Outlet Mall. It'll be on the east side,
Yes.
Mhm.
east side of the eastern entrance, off of Outlet Drive. They'll need to verify the setback and make sure it's not in any platted easements, and then, install the landscaping that's required around the sign. They actually are required to have 6 shrubs around the sign, so I'm gonna have to, and the contractor knows that. He's actually I've been corresponding with him pretty frequently.
And this is replacing the sign that's there?
No, it's a new sign, actually. They've never had a monument sign there.
It's only been on the wall.
Oh, it's only been
It's
on the
on
wall?
the-
Okay.
Garden Ridge is what's out there now,
And that'll be changing on the wall?
yes,
It'll
and
also
they've
be
got
added
an
on,
approval for the wall sign. Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of the signs on the
So it's
wall
gonna be-
sign list.
This is gonna be gray. It's gonna be gray and, I mean, it's gonna look
Yeah,
like this?
kinda like that.
Okay.
Mhm. There is gray on the building, metal
Right.
gray. When they renovated that building, they added some architectural elements to, make it look a lot better than it did. It was not too good.
And the house is gonna be like an aqua? The O house at home,
Yeah,
It's
it
an
should-
aqua?
Similar to that color, yeah. It's a national chain, so I assume that's whatever their color is.
Well, the white should really show up on that background, I would think.
Yeah, the white should
You should
show
be able
up.
to see that.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, if we've already informally approved this via email, then do we have a motion to formally approve it?
Motion to approve.
All right, and a second. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, next on our agenda is Southeast Bank, one that we have not looked at before.
This is the one Fritz is here for.
Okay.
He's with Southern Signs.
All right.
And this sign actually does have address numbers. They are actually, I don't know, again, I don't know why, when you scan sometimes something in PowerPoint,
Yeah.
So is it going to be?
the numbers
Is it
are
going to
right,
be
gonna be right
it's not gonna-
there. Yeah, I can show it on the
So
screen.
just keep in mind, this gray is
Marty,
inside the sign.
it's not gonna be over this, it's gonna be right
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah.
Oh, this would have been right here.
On the
Yeah,
end?
I'll just pass it around, y'all can look at it.
So the numbers are going to be on a pole,
Yeah, you'll see it.
so it's not gonna
That's
be.
part of the structure of the sign. It's kind of a unique placement.
Uh-huh.
I
Oh.
kind of like it. You'll see when it comes around. but
Okay. I think we have.
There are numbers
So the
12, 7.
number letters, does
Yeah.
that say 8 inches?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of the circle there, kind of, so it's 8 inches tall for the number letters.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have it in our packet, I believe.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the packet showed it. Yes, that's right. Yeah, the sign meets all the physical requirements.
It's prettier.
They will need to verify the setbacks and make sure it's not in any platted easements. And
So it's gonna
they
be.
do have a landscape plan
Yeah.
that wasn't in the packet that I did receive.
So it's going to be.
They will need to supplement what they showed on their landscape plan with a couple of additional shrubs. They do show 4 laurel shrubs on the east side of the sign. They'll need to add a couple more.
front elevation
I'll just work with them on that. I'm sure they'll want to make it look nice. But that basically is their presentation. The Farragut is admittedly very small lettering, but that's how they present their different branches. In like Knoxville, I think it has very small lettering. That's kind of an accessory portion or information related to the sign.
Uh-huh.
Those gray marks, that's what goes inside the sign. That's a support that I needed to show the client, and I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that you had 2 different configurations, but it's gonna look like the ones you got on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason I showed that was for the number.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Are the
Very
numbers going to
good.
be on the end view and the front view?
Is that
Because
The numbers, will they be on the end view and the front view?
from the street view?
Both
street
sides of the
view,
pole.
okay.
Yeah,
Both sides of the
the
pole.
pole.
I mean,
Mhm.
I think about east and west.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
East.
That's what we.
Oh.
Very observant.
Does, Mark, does this property qualify for an additional sign because of the streets? or are these streets
Yeah,
not?
I think there was some, you might want to go to the mic, actually, Fritz, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that we're on TV.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Tell my mom to watch sometime.
I was hoping there'd be two signs, but on the west side of it, there's so much underground that they elected not to put another monument there.
Okay,
So there'd be that one
Oh.
right there.
so that'll
Oh,
be the
okay.
only one.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now,
It's pretty.
is,
Now, I was hoping for, being in sales. I was hoping
Yeah.
for
You're wanting that
number two,
extra
but
one.
Once they got together with the contractor, they found out there's too much underground, they put themselves. So, to put a sign there was not feasible.
Okay.
There's a lot of utilities and stuff that,
Will there be anything else in this building other than the bank?
right.
Well,
um,
beyond, they're trying to put some letters on the west side, but could be months from now. But
well, he's talking about if there'll be
Well,
any other
any other
entities
tenants.
in the bank besides
Oh,
the,
that I don't know.
I'm not
I
positive
don't
about
think-
that. I think there is a little bit of, but it's not, they're not gonna have availability on the sign.
That's where I was heading.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we're approving here will be the only sign
Yeah,
for the
it's
property.
approved as a single tenant sign.
Okay, singleton.
If they wanted to go to something different, they'll have to, redo the sign and come back before you all.
And because they can't put it on the west side, we wouldn't come along with a multi-tenant sign over there at some point then.
I honestly, I dealt with them and I don't see that.
Mm.
They're very thorough on what they want to do and just want to do it once. And talking to Tanya and Darwin,
Okay.
well, as soon
Right.
as I say that's it, but that's pretty much, it's going to be all their headquarters there.
Okay.
So in other words, a lot of thought's been put into this already.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
About
Yeah,
three
yeah, they-
months.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Alright.
spent a lot of time on the sign.
Will there be only one wall sign then?
At this point, that's all that I've seen. I haven't even
Sweet.
approved any wall signage yet. They haven't submitted anything. I mean, they could qualify for two, because it faces two public streets, but they don't, I don't know what they're gonna do. I haven't
Okay.
seen anything.
No, like I said, we only in discussion for one in the
One.
west, but that could be 2 or 3 months, and then there'd be a wall sign. It won't be anything, same colors as this, but it won't be any monuments or anything like that.
Okay. He was hoping for two, but they just went for one.
Well, hopefully they'll get two
Mhm.
wall signs for him.
It'd be, if any, it'd be just one.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what I was told, if.
All right.
Yep.
So the lettering here, that southeast, do you have approximately how tall that is? It's pretty tall and then
Yeah, it
bank.
looks like it's,
Yeah, I'd
It's
say
small.
it's 10 to 12 inches,
oh,
based
I
on
bet
the
it's 12.
address numbers.
Yeah, at the addresses.
How will this sign be illuminated?
Oh, good.
Internally.
Okay. I'm asking multiple questions here at once, but with that background being black,
What we call the halo effect is
Ooh.
reverse channel letters, and that's how it would look at night.
So, any
Okay.
landscaping at the bottom?
Yeah, it's a classy look.
That
Look
is
at that.
nice. Did you
Yeah.
see that?
Mm.
That's very nice.
Well,
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very nice.
that's
Will
going
there
to
be
be an
any
interesting.
landscaping at the bottom?
Yes.
Or
it will
light,
be.
so they won't need the light, this lights, this, okay.
It's lit internally.
Internal.
Yes, ma'am.
That's gonna be beautiful.
There won't have any external.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, that's where I was coming from at night. How
Right.
would you see it? That's going to look really nice.
Really nice.
Except the numbers.
Yeah, good question. What about the numbers at night?
Oh,
They-
yes.
Well, they did not request that to be illuminated. I mean, at this point, I can put lights on it if that's what is needed, but they did not ask me for that.
Well, normally the numbers are on top of the sign, and when you light the sign,
Then it
the
lights.
numbers are.
I have to run that by them, and we can put lights on it. That's not, again,
You know, that would be important out there where there's very few buildings in the
Mhm.
first place. It'd give people. you
That
know,
would look good, too. You need to talk to them
Yeah.
about that.
not a problem.
Mhm. Did you all have a chance to see?
Very nice.
That's
Okay.
very pretty.
Right. Yeah, I think the lighting of the numbers would be important. So.
Because all the others, that you can, all
Mhm.
the big
There's no
ones
other, there's no buildings.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
thank you.
there's-
Yeah,
You want to see it?
Oh.
Or-
but that's,
It doesn't matter. I've seen
I
it.
go by
Oh,
those
okay.
signs so much.
I do too.
And that's the thing I get so aggravated about, because when you go and you can't find them, it's like, where are the wall signs? Or the mountain
It could be
signs?
a little misleading because we did not concentrate here. They got lots every 20 or 30 feet. So you'll be able
Oh, so they may be able to see it then. Oh,
Yeah, they'll have parking lot lights relatively close to that sign.
oh.
Well,
so
and
then
I
if-
think that's something to look into.
Just to
As
make
long as-
sure
As long
that
as you
they-
can
Some way.
see it at night somehow,
Yes,
some
so
way.
as long as they, it can
Yeah.
be seen at night, yeah.
Mhm.
Check on that.
All right. Well, I think it's going to be a very nice
Oh, I
looking
do
sign.
too.
It's an interesting design.
Well, I wish I could
Concept.
claim it, but I can't. It was their design that came up with that. I
Mhm.
came up with the center, but they came up with the column part of it.
That's-
Because again, the building has that look of stucco,
Mhm.
and then also has that brick, and that's the reason of the combination of both.
That's
Mhm.
very nice.
Okay. Do we have any further discussion on Southeast Bank? In that case, I'd like to make a motion we approve, subject to the verifications of the setbacks and the landscaping, and also the lighting of the numbers.
I second that.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
this was a fast one.
All right, so that's the last item on the agenda. Is there anything else for this evening, Mark?
We were gonna have a short overview of where we're at with architectural design
All right.
Oh.
process, and
Okay.
I think only Marty was available at that evening session, so we planned on showing you, if it works, the presentation that the consultant from Boulder, Colorado made to the group Thursday night on June 5th when they had that evening session. So let me see here. I may need to get Pam to help me with this.
Mark, before, are you wanting another question? Before, I mean, oh. Adjourn-
Huh?
Oh,
During the meeting, so I can turn you off.
Okay, what do you need me to do? Yeah, you have a site plan in there. We'll just need to verify it. Yeah.
didn't want to hold you up.
Thought he wanted to learn about architectural review.
You need me to do something?
No, just during the meeting, and I'll turn you off.
Yep, it's been adjourned.
Okay.
Okay, we're off the air now.
Yeah. It hopefully will show up on your TV screens
Yeah,
there.
it's here.
It's not quite as good on the big screen.